I'm gonna go brief but in English. Repeat almost the same speech that my friend here delivered just a moment ago. I have the speech prepared, but I'll try to use it only as a guide. This war is a forgotten war in a region that is full of wars. No headlines really show the immense human toll of this war. Syria, Iraq, and Libya, because they have refugee crisis going into Europe, get most of the headlines. Unfortunately, Yemen, which is almost as bad, if not worse than those countries, gets no media coverage. Nobody knows what's going in Yemen, and so for those who care to read some news, think that what the Saudis are doing is a good thing. This is what's happening in Yemen. A rebel group took over the capital city, ousted a government that the Saudis liked. They went, declared war, and a day later they besieged the country, bombed all the seaports, all the airports, and started a carnage. 600 days of constant aerial destruction, 200,000 airstrikes on a country the size of Great Britain. They have left no village, no city, no area in the country untouched. They have bought the weapons with billions of dollars because they don't like the rebels. We take no side in this political conflict. We don't care if the rebels win or lose. We don't care if there is a civil war in the country. A civil war in the country will be far less damaging than the destruction that the Saudi money has bought Yemen. We think that we have to understand the gravity of the situation. We have no hospital, no school, no road, food silos, nothing left in the country. 26 million people now exposed to dire conditions. No medicine, no food, nothing, no shelters. Everybody, nearly everybody in the country is displaced, even within the city or within the country. No family is left untouched. This is a crime at a scale nobody has seen before, and yet we don't have enough media coverage. Yes, a lot of political pundits from both sides will try to justify what's going on. They'll say, well, look, the rebels brought it on themselves, the rebels are bad guys, let's get rid of them, the country will be better. But to justify 200,000 airstrikes, destroying the country, destroying all the seaports, and even more, targeting civilians, to justify that just because you don't like the government or don't like the rebels is something that no one can accept. Saudi Arabia has tried all the time to deny its association with any crimes. They have always dismissed all accusations as rebel propaganda. They said, well, the rebels did that. The rebels gave us this or did that. They have never accepted or took responsibility for anything that happened in the country. Aerial destruction of that country could not have come from any other source but Saudi bombardment. 200,000 airstrikes are not gonna make the country better. 200,000 airstrikes are not gonna be all military targets. Please pay attention to this. 200,000 airstrikes are not all military targets. Even if one of them is not, that is enough for us to stand here and condemn it. On October the 8th, what happened was a massacre that even the Saudis could not deny. They failed to deny it. They attacked a huge funeral in the capital city of Sana'a for a big personality. They thought most of the rebel leaders would attend the funeral. And they thought that's a huge target. That's something we can't miss. So they go ahead with 500,000 half-a-ton bombs, throw it onto the hall, and kill 140 people, injure 500. A clear civilian target because they wanted to assassinate somebody. That is something they could not deny. And that indictment that they actually target anything. They said at the end of this investigation that they promised that, well, somebody gave us wrong coordinates. The legitimate government gave us wrong coordinates. We told us this is a legitimate target. Their military spokesperson keeps on saying that we are not going to waste our weapons on trivial targets. We receive intelligence and coordinates and we verify them, we closely scrutinize them, and then we hit. How can you not know that a big funeral is happening for a big personality when even any kid on Facebook would know that? What kind of stupid intelligence do they have? How long does it take for the world to realize that their alliance with Saudi Arabia is really a crime? You cannot support that government. It's not accountable to anyone. It doesn't have a parliament. It doesn't have any form of democratic institution. It is a country that is truly rogue. The only reason they exist is the petrodollars. The only reason they're here is because they've got money. If those Arab sheiks run out of oil, they'll go back to their camels and tents. Yemen is the only country with a real civilization in the Arabian Peninsula. We have to understand that no food, no medicine, nothing arrives in the country. Not even a person who is outside of Yemen can return home. No refugees. You have to remember that Yemen is one of the most generous countries when it comes to refugees. When the Horn of Africa was flaming with war, Somalia, Ethiopia, Eritrea, Yemen received all those refugees. For 15, 20 years, Yemen received all those refugees. Now, those refugees actually got mostly killed or injured by the Saudi coalition, and Yemenis who have been generous to refugees are not accepted anywhere in the world, and they can't leave the country. They can't leave through the sea, and if they can, there is nowhere to go to. The countries surrounding them are war zones, and the coalition around them is the attacking coalition, the surrounding neighbors. This is a human disaster. What we ask right now is for awareness, is for the world to know that this cannot continue. Depoliticize this campaign. Think of the innocent civilians, think of the children, think of the casualties of war that are not respected by this rogue regime. Thank you very much. I appreciate your stand, and I would like to stress that you should not rely on political information about this casualty. You should just go and read about the human toll, and you will find that it is truly unacceptable no matter what your political or religious affiliation is. Thank you very much for your time.